Hey G.I. Joe fans, Joe Motion Videos 82 here. It is time for another G.I. Joe toy review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Bivouac, what I had shown previously in a quick look. The Bivouac it's really cool. I love having it as a part of my collection. I had it as aforementioned as a child, wasn't complete, but I had the main parts to it, lost all the little accessories. So it served its purpose with me. I used it as a field tent, a mess hall, just all kinds of neat little things. A surgical tent is another thing I used it for. But I really enjoyed having it as a child, and I still enjoy having it as an adult. It is still quite popular out there on the aftermarket. So I will get more into that when I get into my closing remarks. But the Bivouac hit the toy stores in 1984 and was sold through 85 and was discontinued in 86. So it had a good run, of 2 years. So there's a lot of them out there. Its original retail price was $2.29, which in 84, if I can remember right, like minimum wage was maybe $1.50. So for a kid, $2.25 was kind of steep, but not too terribly expensive to where a kid could go out and get a little pocket money and buy one for himself. Especially for those kids who couldn't afford a larger vehicle or a larger play set. They had these smaller ones, Bivouac, the Watchtower, things like that. They were small, really neat, inexpensive, and well made. So these kids could enjoy them, such as I did. I think I picked mine up at a yard sale. Or a park and swap, that's what it was, at a swap meet. But anyway, won't bore you anymore with those details. I just like to throw out a little bits and pieces of history on the toy that relate to me personally. The pieces that are easily lost and broken, I will show you, but it's the canteen. It's made out of a harder plastic, so the strap breaks easy. The shovel, machete, and all that, those smaller pieces are easily lost. And the cot, the legs on the cot are easily lost as well. But when we look at the toy, I'll get further into that. So without any further ado and boring talk about Joe Motion's life, let's go ahead and take a look at this awesome toy. So here it is, the Bivouac. I have Mutt from 1984, loafing on the cot there. They go great together. The colors match perfectly. So let's go ahead and take Mutt out of there. So here's some of the accessories that it came with. It came with this really nicely sculpted field radio. I mean, the detail on this is really nice. I mean, you have the dials and switches on there. The stickers look like they were just put on yesterday, which they weren't when I purchased this. It's bland on the back. When I purchased this, the stickers were already assembled. The radio antenna. It's made out of this soft gray plastic. To find one straight is a rare find. It's easily bent. But this little bugger right here is the one piece that is so blasted hard to find. And when you do find it, the condition really affects the price. The antenna by itself, I have seen it go upwards of $9.99 just for that silly little antenna. So be on the lookout for that, guys. you'll need that. It's also easily overlooked. You see the radio and don't think much of it. So make sure that you see that in the item description or in the pictures or both, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Also came with this axe. The handle is way too big to fit in your action figure's hands. See, I don't want to force it because I want to break my thumb off. So we'll set Mutt down there for a second. Came with a shovel. Pretty nicely sculpted little shovel. Again, too big for the figure's hands. But nice little accessory. And the machete. These were all, you see the little tab here on the end. They were all on a parts tree. But again, this is a little too thick to be put in an action figure's hands. Also came with this weapons, or a stand, reading field equipment. It has little slots on it, or you could just fit the tools on there. But they don't like to stay on. So for display purposes, that's kind of a challenge. Once you set it down, you see it, they just fall out real easy. Also came with this, what is described on the blueprints as an XM65 fiberglass rocket launcher. This is a really cool accessory. It came in 3 different parts, 4 with the little satellite dish or radar dish on there. Some neat little stickers. And it also clips onto the soft plastic stand, which you can see it has some stress marks on it. But it doesn't want to stay in a neutral position very well. And it came with an XM65A 98mm projectile. This came in 3 different pieces. Came with the tail section, or 2 pieces, I'm sorry. And the front part of the bomb breaks off. So it just snaps right on there. Neat little accessory. This sells for about $2.99 by itself. The mortar tube, or the rocket launcher, about $3.99. The stand, $1.99. The stand is more common to find out there. And the shovel by itself is about $2.99, as well as the axe and the machete. Now another real bugger, and this is one that's real commonly lost because a few things. One, it's kind of lame. It really doesn't fit well on the figure, and it has this strap that could easily snap off. You see the stress points on it. You can get that to focus right down here. It has some stress points on it where it would bend and break. There we go. But it's a neat little accessory now. It just hangs right here on the tent pegs. But the canteen, since it's doesn't have much of a play factor, it was just thrown off to the side and easily forgotten about. So the canteen itself sells for about $5.99 on up, depending on condition. The legs that fit on the cot, those are also easily lost. But you can see they just friction right into these little pegs right here. Square fits right in there, and it seats very firmly. So it's a neat little cot. You see it is the exact same length of an action figure. Modern figure is a little too big for it. Now we get to the main piece, which I'll go ahead and take this apart. The Bivouac itself, is the base of it. It says Field Outpost. There's a G.I. Joe sticker on it. On the bottom, sorry, my phone was ringing. Alright, so on the bottom, it reads 1984 Hasbro Incorporated, Pawtucket, Rhode Island. That's pretty cool. It had a little branding, not a brand, but the trademark stamp on it. Also came with the tent itself, or this would be more of a lean-to. Very, very nice. Sculpted on stitching, and it's made to look like canvas. These two tent poles, which have a little barbs or hooks on there, so you could hang all kinds of different accessories on there. From rifles, you have the canteen. So it's neat. These just hook right into these holes. The way to do that is to slide it in this way, and as you put it in, you turn it. Or you could do it that way too, but I found that it displays a little bit better with the hooks turned outwards. And it fits right onto the base. And then the tent poles, sorry about that guys, the tent poles go right down into the little holes. And there you have it. Neat little play piece. Stick back in there. But there is also something I want to point out with the rocket launcher. It has these little teeth on the bottom of it, and it doesn't quite go well with this stand. The stand looks like it was an afterthought, that maybe they had a different base to it, and these teeth were made to friction to hold it into place. But either cost or time, so it was a factor. Don't know what was going through their head sometimes, and so they just stuck this cheap little stand on there, made from the same plastic as the rocket. So I showed this to you before, but we'll go over it again. This was the back of the box. You see it has product the contents on there. It's worth 1 flag point. Pretty cool. I'm glad that people saved these packages over time. And this sold at Toys R Us for $3.68, but according to yojo.com it was originally $2.29. So which would make sense. So if you were to purchase this, let's say at a Kmart, it'd be $2.29, but since Toys R Us is a specialty store, they can mark it up. And I love the card art on this. Just look at that. I wish I could draw that well. And this breaker, of course, working the radio. Short fuse firing the mortar off. Pretty cool. This is Bivouac Battle Station Forward Observer Post with light gear and rocket launcher. And then the blueprints as well. So for me, this is 110% complete. It has the instructions here on the back. Neat little setup here. But another reason why the accessories would easily get lost is the main things you would play with, or at least I would, thinking back as a child, I would set the shovel and all that other stuff off to the side. No canteen. I would use the rocket launcher the bivouac, and the radio. That would be it. So you can see right here that I have a diorama set up. There's Falcon. My watchtower, which is complete, the Canadian watchtower. And then I have one from the US, which is not complete. I'm just missing the ladder for that one. You see, it does well on a diorama. I just used a little bit of moss that you could find at a hardware store in the garden section. It's used to hold moisture around plants. This is just a old Christmas decoration I bought at a thrift store and cut up to make brush out of it, and it's a styrofoam base. I painted earth tones, just added a few rocks from my yard, kind of punch it up a bit. So that's a simple diorama. So briefly, this is something that I wanted to show you guys as well. You have two of these, you could put them together and make a full tent. But it has a little gap at the top, but hey, who cares? I mean, look at that. That is a pretty cool little setup. I mean, you have room for two guys. It's pretty spacious in there. You take out the accessories, you could lay several Joes side by side, just on the ground or on the floor. So if you're looking for this on the aftermarket, I strongly suggest you get one. It's a nice little showpiece. It's small. It's reasonably affordable. It goes great with dioramas, as you can see from the one I made. It doesn't take much shelf space, so you could definitely add more toys around it. But I wouldn't pay more than $35 for a complete one. You could try your luck with an auction and get it cheaper. Excuse me. But they're very common out there, so just be patient. That's the key thing with toy collecting. Be patient. If you see one, if you know it's incredibly rare and they're not on the aftermarket that often, spring on it. But if they're real common, wait. There'll be more of them coming up, and you could get it at a price that's affordable. The box itself, mine's been cut, but there are complete boxes out there. Those sell just by themselves. I've seen them $35, $40. Blueprints, these are in outstanding condition. There's no yellowing on them. Those go from $5.99 on up. And I've mentioned that the antenna, $9.99. So you can, if you want to buy the individual pieces and try to piece it together, I wouldn't really recommend it for a play set this small. It will cost you more than what it's really worth. You know, the cost of the accessories and shipping. Shipping is what gets you on that. For a larger item, a vehicle, so for instance, you could buy a large vehicle, get it, and if it's missing the pieces, you could buy the smaller pieces and it won't cost you that much. Like with my 83 Command Center, I just recently completed that. I had purchased it last February, for $5.50 at a used bookstore. It had the foundation, all the walls to it, the bare bones of it was there. I had the cell walls and all of that, but when I review that, I'll get into it. But I purchased all the smaller pieces, all the accessories to it, little by little, and the whole thing, I think, just right up the top of my head, was $60 to complete the whole play set. And that one sells complete. I've seen it as low as $150. So yeah, I definitely came out on top on that one. But I'll get into that more when I review it, and I'm saving that for something big. So anyway, without any further blabbering, I want to thank everybody who recently subscribed. I really appreciate you guys taking a chance on this channel and watching it. I hope that you do find it informative and relatively entertaining. I do enjoy making these toy reviews. I enjoy doing the stop motion, which I really should do more of. It's just time consuming, but no excuses. If you have an idea for a stop motion video, please let me know. I'm open to ideas. I'll give you credit on that. Say this is an idea from so and so. So you'll get credit for the idea of the video. So if you have an idea, please let me know. I had last Christmas, one of my viewers asked me, had a special request for a Christmas video, and I made one for him. So with all that being said, thanks to everybody, to all of you who've been with me from the beginning, to all of you who've just recently joined me. Thank you so very much. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let's continue to get the numbers building up. I'm not doing it for pride. Honestly, it's not, you know, trying to massage my own ego. I want to be able to get my numbers up so I could start getting ad revenue, and turn that money right back around into the channel so I could get better video equipment, better. I have a great camera, but I need better editing software, computer, all of that. Computer's getting pretty old. So things like that. And also just to buy more toys. Buy more toys to share with you guys, to do reviews on, and also for giveaways. I plan on doing a giveaway for my 100 subscribers and for my year anniversary, which the anniversary's coming up July 1st. It'd be a year since I've been making these videos. So I will be holding a giveaway. I won't say what that prize is, but I promise it'll be a nice one. It will be worth it. So let's get these numbers up, guys. I would really appreciate it. So anyway, this has been Joe Motion Videos 82, signing off until next week. Stay tuned. I will be reviewing something pretty cool. I'll tell you, what the heck, you guys have been good to me. I'll be reviewing the Watchtower next. All right. So thanks. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.